Last weekend, as we walked through the hours of 3 a.m. roughly to 3 p.m. on the day Jesus died, we learned that the Romans and the Jews had worked together to aggressively move up the timeline of Jesus' trial, verdict, sentencing, and execution. What should have taken at least a few days took only a few hours. There was this crazy urgency to be just done with it. Has that ever happened in your own life where you have rushed to something? Or maybe turned a blind eye to what you knew you should have done, or someone you knew you should have spoken up for, but just needed it all to be over, so you went along with the masses. That's what happened to Jesus. And just as quick as they were to charge and kill him, we should be even quicker to accept him. Life is just too short. I know that phrase is used over and over again, but on this side of eternity, it's true. We do not get to know how many days we live on this earth. We do not get to know how long we have in certain relationships. So with urgency, we need to figure out our end game. Do we want to live this life on earth just going through the motions until one day we cease to exist, nothing after? Or do we want to live this life on earth, however long we have, with purpose? Do we want to try to know Jesus more and more each day, knowing that there is more after this? This life is not the end game God wants for us. God wants us to be with him. Now, I don't want to give you spoilers on the rest of the series, but with Easter coming up, I think you can guess where this conversation is going, because Jesus' death on the cross was not his end game. It was horrible and excruciating and unbearable for him to endure, and so hard to hear Pastor Jim talk about it this past weekend. But Jesus suffered through all of that because he knew that he was conquering death for you and me. If you haven't taken the step with God, accepting his grace and mercy, praying to him and letting him know you want a relationship with him, I want to give you the space to do that right now. If you don't know where to start, let us help. For the last few moments today, we're going to have the prayer on the screen. And if you're listening to the MP3, it will be located in the notes section. We're going to have that message up, and this is the same message that was up this past weekend during Pastor Jim's message. And if you pray this prayer, can I ask you something? Would you let someone know? Whether a friend or a family member, even just contacting the church office here at Meck. We love to know and be able to help you and give you some next steps.